Good morning and a very warm welcome to everybody who is on the live stream. I am so impressed that you're here on a Sunday morning. It's amazing. And a very warm welcome to this, my webinar, which is all about flow and growth and how you can use your flow in your business and just grow your business in the most natural, graceful way. I'm quite jealous because Helen's just shared that she's in her pajamas. I actually had to get out of my pajamas, which was a bit of a struggle today. But I'm so impressed that you're here. And I just want to also say a really big thank you to absolutely all of you for participating in the 3-day challenge as well. You've been awesome. It's been really cool to actually see your engagement and your support of each other. And just to really know that you're taking this work forward and you're really taking the steps, and you're having those aha moments as well. You're not just doing the work and it's not making a difference. You're actually really making a positive difference in understanding who you are in business, understanding what you're calling in 2017, and understanding truly who your soul client is. And in some forms, it's like you've got more than one soul client. So it's truly understanding, what you are here to do in an impactful way, and how you're here to serve your amazing, amazing clients as well. Ooh, having a wobble on my arm. So the purpose of today was to bring all that together. I'm not going to recover the exercises. They're in the group, and I'm just in the process of uploading onto YouTube, and then I'm going to create a playlist. So the 3 videos will be together with all 3 exercises. So that's going to be available until Wednesday, and then I'm going to bring it down because I'm mean like that. But this is just to ensure that we're doing the work, and we're making the space, and we're clearing the path. So with all of this work done, completed, and that we can move forward. And I've got some really exciting things coming up in March, including shall I tell you? Yes, go on. I'm going to create in March the opportunity to share with you in a really kind of intimate way the mindset that I use to grow my business to 5 figures. So I'm going to actually share that content with you in March in a really brilliant, deep way. So I'm really excited about that. So I really want you guys to take this information on board right now, do the work, and start to implement the steps in your business, so you can clear the way and make room for that super special training that's coming up in March. And I'm really, really excited. It was the mindset training was supposed to be a paid for course, and it will be in the future, but the people who are in Live Your Abundant Life right now are going to receive that as a gift from me. And I know it's going to be really transformational, because it was massively transformational for me. So let's talk about today. So I'm opening up the lines later on, and I'm really happy to answer any questions that you've got about the content that I shared today, about anything that occurred for you during the week whilst you're taking these steps forward as well. And I will be talking a little bit about my brand new opportunity for people to come in and work with me in a really deep, intimate way right now. But really what I wanted to do was kind of share my story. I might be losing you guys on the live stream shortly. Sorry about that if I do. So in terms of really kind of putting all of what we've covered this week into context, I just really wanted to share my story. So many of you have known me for a while now. Catherine, Helen, Sally, Bridget, who else have we got on the live stream? Lots of people have known me for a long time, and all of you have known me as a business coach, which I am. But some of you are fairly new to my world as well. So I want to take you back to October 2015. So in 2015, I was being the good business coach, and I was working with people who were basically not force feeding, but they were kind of feeding me their strategies, their models, their scripts and everything. And I was really slightly in awe of these people, because they have on the surface really successful businesses. They're generating a lot of money in the business, if that's what you want to deem successful. And I was like looking to them as a mentor, as a coach, and thinking, wow, you know, in order for me to take my business to the next level, this is what I need to do. So I really stepped into believing that I had to have the same business model as these people. And in October 2015, I created, and I'm going to do that finger thing now, because I think it's really funny, I created my signature program. And it was great. You know, this was a brand new program. It was all about helping women to understand their relationship with money and about how they can really step into their power and call money to them and nail the prices and be really confident about their prices and so on, which is obviously really important and which is still part of my message today. And that sold really well in October. I worked with the most amazing clients, and we had the best breakthroughs as well. And I think on this, I don't think any of some of the people that I worked with on that program are still working with me today, because that connection, when you're talking about money and mindset, that connection that you make is really, really deep. So that was brilliant. And I was like, right, brilliant. I've got my signature program. And, you know, my coach was saying, well, you know, this is the thing that you just go and sell now. And it becomes like this self-fulfilling product that you just keep on selling this product. And really, in the end, you don't have to be very active in the product as well. It can almost be like a passive, on the shelf kind of product that you kind of don't have to put much energy into it. So I was like, right, okay, that's what everybody's doing. And I could see how many other people were doing this, and it was, you know, uber successful for them. So it was like, right, okay, you know, I'm going to be a good client and do what I've been told to do. So all over December and during the Christmas period in 2015, I created my launch. I called extra people in. I invested in Facebook ads and additional support. And then in January, I was good to go. And I was ready for my big launch, which was going to attract in loads of new clients. And I was going to have this amazing business and this amazing program that, you know, I could just keep on reselling. And I really invested. I invested a lot of my precious time, a lot of my precious energy. I kind of ignored my family and my friends and my health. And I really committed to doing the work. And all of that amazing effort and time and energy resulted in exactly me attracting one new paying client. And I was like, oh my goodness me, I have done everything I've been told to do. I've followed the rule book. I've committed, I've stepped up, I've been visible and all the rest of it. And I was just like, you know, honestly, face down on the carpet, banging my little fists in frustration, because I knew that this was a product that women needed and got a huge benefit from. And I was like, how on earth have I got it so wrong? And I did. I had to go away and kind of give myself good talking to. And at the time, I was still running my monthly business club, so I still had income coming in, you know, and all the rest of it. So that was just how it was. And what I realised is that actually one of the significant reasons why I was unable to actually sell that signature program again is because signature programs do not work for me. I get excited about creating new things, and I get excited about having live products, and it doesn't work for me. And because I'm an extrovert and because I'm a qualified coach and NLP practitioner, it doesn't work for me to have a product that sits on the shelf and people just pull it down and there's no interaction. That just doesn't work for me. So I was completely out of alignment with having the signature program. So that kind of failure in December and January 2016 actually led me to really looking at deeply about who I was in business and who I wanted to work with. And I let go of all this assumption that actually I had to run a business like other people, and that I went back to who I was. And my understanding that I've always understood is that in order for you to be successful in anything that you do in life, you have to do it your way. And I think sometimes when we're struggling in our businesses or we've got some exciting ideas, and we're frustrated because we can't get those ideas out to our audience, is that we often look at other products and services and believe that that is like the magic wand. And sometimes for people it is, but for me it really wasn't. And you know, what I did from that point is that I knew I had an existing business. It wasn't as though I had a business that was limping along or anything like that. I had this existing business and knew that I could help and support women in a really deep way to make a big difference in their businesses and therefore their lives in quite an impactful way. So I actually sought some support through other coaches, and I invested in my business, and I came back and I was like on it. And you know what I learned in that time is that in order for me to move forward, in order for me to grow my business, and in order for me to be in full alignment, so therefore everything feels easy and graceful to me, is that actually I also needed to lovingly let go of some of my clients. And this was quite tricky because these clients had been with me for a long time, and I deeply do love them. And it was like, oh my gosh, I've got to tell them that actually things are changing and this is no longer part of my products and services. And I had to let go of a Facebook group that I had lovingly created, and it had over 700 amazing women in it, and it was like no longer served what I stood for in the world, and I had to lovingly let that go. And during this time I changed my message, I let go of all my products and services, and I made that absolute complete declaration that I was fully open for business. Because what I had discovered, that by hiding behind other people's products and services and their business models, is that I was kind of stepping into a role of somebody who was an introvert, somebody who didn't actually want to be connected with our audience. And here we are now, you know, like a year ago, deeply connected to all of you. There's no slides, it's just me on a Sunday morning. And this is the way that I work best, is when I'm connected with my audience, when I'm visible, when I'm delivering live training and deep coaching, and when I'm focusing on getting my clients the most amazing results, even if it kind of, you know, sometimes you like look at a program and it's like you get this and this, it's quite prescriptive. And my guys in the mastermind group that are working currently, you know, I've already been messaging them today, Sunday. I don't care. I am so invested in getting these people the results that they truly desire to have. So if they need some help and support on a Sunday and I can give it to them, that's exactly what I'm going to do. And it's, you know, and it's worked massively for you. And I know that Victoria's kind of sharing over in the live stream that a lot of what I'm saying about stepping into somebody else's model and really truly believing that this was going to be the solution for everything, that, you know, this is kind of deeply resonating with her. And that, it happened to me, didn't it? You know, it can happen to all of us. And I'm not saying that these products are bad things, because sometimes, you know, even through the things that don't work, they're like the biggest lessons that we actually have to hear, isn't it? And one of the things that also shifted for me in this, and we've talked about it a lot in the 3-day challenge, is that I decided that, you know, the lesson was actually, you know, I had been stepping into somebody else's shoes, but I decided that actually I was enough as I was, and that I should have the confidence to go out there and be me. And it was the dawning of live stream happening, and it was the most perfect timing for me, because it was like I had Live Your Abundant Life. There was a couple of, I don't know, maybe 50, 60 people in there, and I just was like, right, this is going to be my group, and people who don't want to be part of it will jump off, and vice versa, and all the rest of it. And I was like, right, okay, I'm going to be in there and I'm going to be me. And it takes some time. You know, you have to understand who your soul client is. You need to understand all of those things that we've been working on this week about what your message is, what you're here to do. And then it's about having the absolute confidence to start to create content that resonates with your audience, even if you feel as if that's quite makes you feel quite vulnerable. And, you know, one of the things that I shared during the 3-day challenge was the importance of being yourself and being authentic and letting your audience see all of you in whichever way works best for you and your clients. And it's about kind of getting yourself out of your own way and understanding that the more that you can connect with your audience and serve them at a deep level, the greater kind of mindset you have, the greater, morning Joanna, the greater understanding you have about your clients, and the greater visibility you have. And all of that actually helps you show up consistently as a leader, as an inspirational person in your field, and your clients will naturally start to come to you. And, you know, if a year ago somebody had said to me, you can, you know, gracefully grow your business with ease and grace, I would have probably punched them in the face, because I was like, you are having a laugh at you. Business is hard. It's a slog. You have to give up everything else. You have to be salesy and blah, blah, and you have to do these big launches. And it was like, that's absolutely not true at all. So 2016 very much became the year that I was like fully me. It was kind of like, this is me. And, you know, it was also about how I decided that actually one of the things that I was guilty of is that I was hiding behind these big launches. And my coach that I'm working with now asked me a question in March, which changed everything for me. And I've shared this lots of time. And she said, you know, how open are you? And I was like, don't be ridiculous. I'm working really hard in my business. Of course I'm open. And it was like, but she persisted. And she said, you know, well, you know, how open do you feel for your audience? You know, do your audience know how open you are? And I was thought about it, and I thought, do you know what? I'm like the best kept secret. I never go out there and tell my audience, unless I'm doing a launch, like a big launch, which was once or twice a year, that actually about the products and services I had. I have, you know, a really lovely website with all my work with me button and, you know, details about how you could work with me. But I was not going out to my audience and saying how you can come and work with me. It was all this content. And obviously that really shifted for me. And what I discovered is that you can launch multiple times. You know, lots of people say you shouldn't do more than one product. But in the summer I was selling 3 products in a week. I generated like £3,000, £4,000, £5,000, £6,000, just because what happens when you're in that kind of launch mode is that your frequency and your visibility is really high, and people are like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And you actually draw people to you. And that definitely wasn't happening in my business in 2015. So in 2016 was very much the time when I threw my doors open really confidently, and I really had to kind of step into that mindset that actually, you know, if I upset people because I was coming out and promoting my products and services and they got, you know, they left, well, that is just part and parcel of what happens. But those people who stay, those people who are like, well, actually, I want to work with you now, brilliant. Or those people who think, I want to work with you later, great. And there's always going to be those people who never work with you but still get some benefit from being in your world. And it's like, well, that's all I can do. And I stepped out of my way of worrying about upsetting people because I was selling to them. At the end of the day, we're a business, and we can make the most brilliant, impactful changes to our clients, to our own lives, to our families, and to our communities when we're generating more sales in our business. And it makes us feel epic. And when we feel epic, we are going out there and deeply serving our, you know, clients in another way. So don't ever be afraid of selling. And, you know, and I've got to be truthful, and just that sometimes I get into like, right, okay, I'm doing a launch, and it still makes me feel a bit, you know, but then you just think, well, actually, it's quite exciting, because when you're selling and launching and so on, it naturally increases your vibrancy, it naturally increases your visibility, and you think of some really creative ways to go out there and engage with your audience, and you're calling your soul clients to you, and it can feel really, really graceful. So let's have a little think. So has anybody got any questions about that? And is this resonating with you? Let me know. So whilst you're having a think about that, you can pop that into the chat box or pop it onto the live stream if you're still there. And so the question that I was asking is, is this actually resonating with you? Is this, I know Victoria was sharing that this was resonating with her and that she has felt in the past that she's been stepping into somebody else's model and not truly but kind of earning who she is. And that's what a lot of the 3-day challenge has been about you truly earning who you are. And if you've got any questions about how in particular you can make that happen in your business, let me know. So the kind of key learnings that I had from my kind of launch that didn't really launch last year is that actually I am already enough. And I can impactfully and deeply transform people's businesses and lives as I am right now. I don't have to wait until I'm at this level or that level to go out there and be like shine my light even brighter. I can do that right now. And actually what resonates with your soul clients is when you are 100% yourself. And when you can allow them to come in and see and feel who you truly are. That's what resonates. In particular, if you are working with women, they really feel any kind of frequency that's not feeling genuine. Joanna's shared, this is exactly what I need to hear. I'm going on holiday tomorrow with lots of beach time to think and plan. Feel inspired about how confidently you show up in your business. Brilliant. And Joanna, it was, as I shared, and I know that you've jumped on halfway through, but it wasn't always the case. It hasn't always been, because it wasn't until I stepped into who I truly am that this actually came into play for me. And I also discovered that I can run a business exactly how I want to run a business. And when you focus on consistently showing up, when you focus on consistently being visible to your audience, that is when you get the most results, but also that's when you get the most fun. Currently with my mastermind guys, we have a mastermind call on a Friday, and it's the most fun that we have. Obviously we're like talking about our business, and they're sharing their goals and their challenges, and they're receiving coaching to overcome this, and they're moving forward and all the rest of it. But honestly, on Friday I was crying with laughter because the connection between us all is so powerful. And it's not just, it's not just what I create and do for people, it's also what people do collectively together as well. And it's really good fun. I would have never thought of running a mastermind group last year or in 2015. That wasn't the way forward for me. But actually I love running masterminds, and I've discovered something that really works for me. So Catherine's put, it's been old ideas for me, other people's old ideas, something about if you're going to go, you have to do it all yourself. So realizing this has been my default, I have now been able to let go of that. Brilliant. And find someone to work with. Brilliant. That's amazing. One of my most amazing, powerful, fabulous clients from the past tried to, she set up her own kind of work experience, but actually what she discovered is the most powerful work for her is to work collectively and collaboratively with other people. And this is very much what we've been talking about. Michelle earlier in the challenge was sharing about how she can sell one side of her business, but the other side of her business, she feels like she's got to put a sales hat on. And hopefully she's discovered this week, actually, you don't have to put like a different hat on. It's just about stepping into that frequency and connecting with your audience. Yes, brilliant. And obviously the one thing that I haven't spoken about, which was like a massive key learning, and it is one of the most important things and the things that I talk about a lot, is obviously mindset. Let's just share what Sheila's put. Sheila's put, you do impact with people, especially by being yourself. You've made me think deeper than I've done in years. Deep thinking for us all. But that's the power of coming collectively together, isn't it? And actually using some powerful coaching exercises to actually take the various layers off. Because we think that with this person, we're that person. And at the end of it, we're all evolving, but at the heart of it, we're still who we are. And sometimes we forget who that is because we don't think it's good enough, or we have to have a different persona on because we're in business. And And again, people feel that. But obviously the thing that I haven't kind of touched on, which was massively transformational for me last year and still remains the same this year, and that is mindset. Without the work that I did on my mindset last year, I probably wouldn't have the business I've got today. I wouldn't have the business that I've got today. I wouldn't have you guys. And your mindset is, you know, as an NLP practitioner and as a coach, I understand about mindset. You know, when I work with women on their money story, of course, that's all about mindset. But along the way, I kind of forgot to work on my own mindset. And one of the things that I did is I invested last year in working on my mindset. And I have discovered that the more you work on your mindset, the more successful you become. And there is that saying that, you know, 80% of success is mindset. Yeah, so Alison's sharing it. She's working hard on her mindset. It is the thing that's going to break you through. And let's just talk about that for a little while. Why is mindset so important? Mindset is so important because we get so busy with our internal chatter about how we're not good enough, how we can't have a launch like so-and-so, or we can't go out and sell because it feels uncomfortable, or how you can't put your prices up because everybody will be upset with you, or how you can't go out there and sell a product that's like somebody else's. And Shelley, thank you, Shelley. So Shelley's sharing, and this is a big one for Shelley because she gets quite frustrated about having to work on mindset because it doesn't come naturally to her. I don't think it comes naturally to anybody. But Shelley's put, I'm working on my mindset and Rachel has been a fabulous support. Well, Shelley is doing incredible work over in that mastermind. I tell you, she is absolutely, you know when you can see somebody and she's like been working, learning, evolving. And she's just about to tip over into attracting exactly what she wants into her business. And yeah, I think the mindset is slowly shifting. Well, no, it is shifting, definitely. But mindset is a massive one. And, you know, when we work on our mindset, when we continuously remind ourselves of what we're working towards, you know, who we're calling in, our soul clients, the positive impact that we're looking to make on the world, on our clients, on our lives, on our families' lives, when we continuously reiterating over and over again what we do, what our superpowers are, what we're bringing to the world, this is exactly what is going to break you through. So Shelley's putting, thank you. Rachel is worth her weight in gold. I'm quite heavy. Catherine's putting, becoming aware of what the default settings are seem to be the trick. It is, and then it's letting it go, Catherine. So it's like knowing what's holding you back and letting it go and stepping into, I always talk about it because it's the thing that's really made a massive difference for me, but I always talk about creating your new reality, the reality that you're working towards. And Shelley will be excited that we always do Mindset Monday over in the mastermind, and she's got a really brilliant exercise, and Alison, she's still here, Alison as well, she's got a really brilliant exercise tomorrow which I'm really excited about sharing because I did it and I went, and it's like, you know, mindset is amazing, it just releases you all the time. A mindset exercise, you know, when we go through this training in March, you can choose how to do your mindset. It's not prescriptive, and this is kind of, I feel like getting on my bandwagon really and saying that, you know, business is not prescriptive, it's all about you. It's about how you want to engage with your audience and who you want to work with and the way you want to work with them. You might decide that actually you only want to work with a handful of people and they've got to be your VIP clients, and actually, you know, you're going to have, you know, just high-end products, and that's amazing. That's really powerful because that's all you need to focus on then, isn't it? So mindset was obviously a really massive lesson for me last year. It was absolutely huge, and every time I get into a scenario where where I've created a new opportunity for my audience, for you guys, and I know that I'm going to go out there and start to promote and sell it, is I work on my mindset massively because it still takes extra time, like energy, for me to step into that role and be thinking, right, okay, I'm going to share a brilliant opportunity for people. And that's why in my new live coaching and training program, Create, Launch and Sell, that mindset is a big part of what we will be talking about, because I am a big fan of setting people up, my clients up, to succeed, not to struggle. And mindset is a massive piece to that. And if I didn't put it in, I'd really feel like I was kind of keeping back the thing that's actually going to make life feel easy and graceful for you. So, you know, so let's just recap on what we've been talking about this week. So in the 3-day challenge, you have been looking at what's not serving you anymore, and you've been letting that go. You've been identifying who exactly is your soul clients. And I loved your love letters. And I loved the fact that you put up that some of you found it really hard and that you had to change some of the exercises, or you had to go again, or however you did it. But you did it, and you've been so brilliant at that. And I'm going to share exactly when your kind of coaching call is going to happen as well, which I'm gifting to you guys this week. You've also been looking at what your key messages are to your soul clients, and the thing that's kind of come out for all of you when I've seen what you've been sharing is the clarity that you've got about being who you truly are. And I just really wanted very briefly to say to you, if you've enjoyed these 3 days of working with me in this deep way, and you've enjoyed seeing the positive impact that these exercises have had, and you're ready to take it to the next level and actually go out there and really deeply connect with your audience, and to get your audience connecting with you in that way where they're coming to you, they're ready to buy from you, and that selling never feels like selling again, and that you're ready to grow your business with ease and grace, is that, my new live coaching and training program is just that. This is not like, here's a program, here's all the modulars and get on with it. This is about me holding the space for the next 3 weeks, where we will be working on your content, on your visibility, on your mindset, on your next products and services, launching this, selling them. It's all of those things. And in that, it's about how you use live stream for selling if you choose to. It's about how you use webinars, how you use challenges, whatever you decide to do. It could be about discovery calls. There's all sorts of different ways that you can go out and actually engage with your audience. And this live training and coaching program will do just that. It's going to be a really intimate group where I'll be supporting you to connect with your audience, to find your voice, to use Facebook groups, whether you create your own or other people's, to actually draw people to you. We'll be looking at your content, your blogs, your vlogs, your emails, your social media, and we're really finding your voice in all of that. And this is just about you really nailing this, because when I nailed this in March last year, when I did the work, when I invested in my business, everything changed. And I've kind of had this brewing in the background that I've wanted to create a program to share all of this for a little while. And I just felt that from what people were sharing in the group about January being a non-event for many people, that actually February is a great time for us to do this work. And you do it for 3 weeks and start to get some amazing results as well. Right, so so this coaching program, it's 3 weeks. It's fairly intense, but lots of support, very intimate, very supportive group. And the price at the moment until Wednesday is $197, and there is a payment plan in place. The link's in the group, and I'll be sending it out later on. So if anybody's interested in that, you can just let me know, or you can just sign up. That's absolutely fine. So has anybody got any questions that they want to ask me about anything that I've shared this morning, anything that we've covered in the 3 days? This is your Q&A time. And even if you just want to tell me that this is kind of resonating with you, that you're ready to take your business to the next level, that you're going to use the work that we've done over the last 3 days to do that, I'd love to know what your plans are, what you're committing to. I noticed when I asked you guys to comment on what you're committing to, it was the least commented element of the 3-day challenge as well. Commitments, it's tricky, isn't it? Because it can feel a bit icky. When we're in this kind of 3 days and it's all supportive and inclusive, it feels great. But then there's that reality that you've got to go and do it on your own if you choose not to come and work with me. So, any questions? I have no idea what time it is either. So Sally said, thanks, Rachel. You've given me so much to think about. Still catching up on the exercises. A couple of things have come up for me. Dun, dun, dun. She's going to expand on that. Let's see what she comes up with. But I'm so proud of you guys. You know, we're all busy women and you just rock up and it's amazing. You're just so engaged. It's brilliant. Sally's still typing. So we will see what happens. So who's excited about doing the mindset training in March? I am excited about delivering it to you. It's going to be awesome. And if you can't wait till March, there is obviously a big element of mindset in the Create, Launch and Sell product as well. So I'm just waiting for, Shelley said me. Yay, she's loving mindset. I'm waiting for Sally to come back. So I think we've got Sheila just in the group. So I'm not sure if she's got anything to add. Joanna's going to go away and lie on a beach and think about me. That's nice, isn't it? Poor lady. No, she'll actually, I'll remove my ego from that. She's actually going to be thinking about her business and what she's going to do from it as well. But yeah, I mean, hopefully you all understand that you can create and sell whatever you want as long as it's in alignment with you. Honestly, I mean, I have no problem in telling you about Create, Launch, Sell because I know it's absolutely cracking product. And it's going to be transformational. And that's what I want for you guys, that when you talk about your product and services, that equally you feel as if you can go and talk about it like you talk about the weather. So let's see what Sally's put. She's put, she feels vulnerable when selling online, as I have a lot of colleagues who I connect with who, with online, who I feel are way ahead of me in terms of experience and fear being judged, which is daft, I know. I'm now committed to building the online facility for my clients. That's Bridget. Sally's put, also when thinking about the client letter exercise, I feel I want to write 2 letters. Brilliant. Yeah. I think there was a lot of people who decided that they had 1 or 2 or even 3 different client groups. You know, Catherine's nodding, and then they wrote separate letters to them. They're absolutely, totally right to write separate letters if they're separate. So let's go back to what let's just go back to what Sally said then. Sally said that she feels like she's way ahead of me in terms of experience. So let me just tap into that a little bit, Sally. When you share that, are we talking about your their experience of selling online or their experience of working with clients who are similar to yours? It'd be great to know that. Bridget's been talking about building an online facility for a little while, so that's exciting to know she's going to do that. Michelle's saying that her biggest challenge is how I sell myself in a face-to-face style through social media. I think, Michelle, it's about really starting to find your voice, and the best way you can do that is by starting. You know, you will refine your message more and more, and maybe just see yourself in that situation where you're having that face-to-face conversation with somebody, and then write it down and see what that actually looks like as a written form. Alison said, I feel that writing this client letter really helped me to get clear about your ideal client. And Alison, when you shared that, it really resonated with so many people that were going, that was me. And wasn't that amazing to know that the clients to coach are women who have been in your situation and you know how you got out of that. So I'm just waiting for some further clarification coming from Sally with regards to her experience. So Sally's saying, in my teaching role, I get to work with some real industry leaders. Yeah, I know it's that. Right, okay. It's one thing that I haven't really shared today. So let's just go back to kind of where I was in 2015. I shared that I was working with some really inspirational, amazing women who I kind of put on a bit of a pedestal. Oh, I'll just try and fix that for you, Sally. Is it still there, Sally? The echo? Okay. So obviously I was working with some really inspirational coaches, and I always do work with inspirational coaches. That's the whole point, is that you're working with somebody who inspires you. But I had them on a pedestal, and it was like I truly believed that I wasn't good enough to that I was never going to get to the stage and that obviously is a mindset thing. That was obviously blocked sales from coming to me, because I was looking to them, putting them on a pedestal and going, oh my gosh, they're so amazing, and then there's just little old me. And it was through the mindset work. It was about really connecting with who I'm here to serve and how I'm here to serve them, and just doing it, and just kind of putting that to one side. And the more that you work on your mindset, the more that you reiterate what you are here to do and what you're brilliant at, the clearer and clearer and clearer you'll become, and the braver and braver you'll become. And also, you know, you've got your, and I'm guilty of this as well, I'm sure many people are, is that when we're comparing ourselves to somebody else, we might be comparing ourselves to somebody who's been online for 10 years. So it's not really a fair comparison. If you are new to selling products and services online, actually you are at the beginning, and they have, you know, they've done 10 years in advance work, and that is the reality of where we're at. But the kind of comparisonitis does definitely hold us all back. And it's just finding ways to work around that, which is the most important thing. Brilliant. So the letter writing exercise has helped. Right, guys, so any final questions before we finish off today? Anybody who's joined a little bit later, I'm going to be posting this recording up and you can have it. If you're not in my group, Live Your Abundant Life, and you want a full recording of this, just drop me a PM on Facebook and let me know. I'm really happy to send a recording to you. But I just wanted to say a really massive yes. So Alison's just shared, we don't know what their journey was before they got to the top. Absolutely. That's really true. None of us are an overnight success. None of us. That is, and those people who appear out of nowhere and they're full on and it's all guns blazing and they've made the most amazing progress in the first 2-3 years, they just disappear because they can't sustain it. So sometimes, yes, absolutely. Sometimes you know, they are a blip and then that's it. I think the best way to grow your business is these incremental steps, because as I shared today, is that I learned so much from that massive non-launch in January last year, and if I hadn't learned that, I'd still be stuck in my old ways. So it's always, those lessons are always, you know, you've got to sometimes jump off that ledge and in the first instance believe that you'll find your wings and you'll fly down, but also you've got to accept as you're evolving that you are going to learn some really powerful lessons, and as long as you learn those lessons and you don't let those lessons derail you, that's okay. But that's, you know, that's when you come and work with somebody like me. You know, it's like Shelley's having all these breakthroughs because she's been held in this really secure space, and she knows that she can thrash around, get through her situation, and then go out in all her glory and make all this amazing difference. And you know, that's just how it works. Right, everybody, I want to wish you all a fabulous Sunday and say a really massive thank you for being here, for being part of today's webinar. And I just want to say thank you and have a fabulous weekend. I'm over in Live Your Abundant Life, of course. Come and ask me your questions. You know, I'll be putting that link up so you can get all 3 videos from this week's challenge. And if anybody's interested in coming and working with me and growing your business in the most graceful, amazing way in the next 3 weeks, just let me know, because I'd love to work with you. Right, guys, thank you very much. Have a really, really fabulous Sunday, and thank you for being here this morning. Sorry about the technology hiccups at the beginning, but we got there in the end, didn't we? Bye, everybody. Take care for now. Bye. Bye, bye, bye.